Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty sure we're already into Monday, so happy Monday. Here's a little message using the Oracle of the Mermaids. So I felt that the energy was rather deep and beginning to feel rather intense. So I called upon the mermaids to get us some guidance with regards to what's coming in for the divine masculine and divine feminine this week. And straight out we have falling in love. Now, I've never actually seen this card in the deck before, so this was a surprise to me. In the bottom of the deck we have vulnerability. So falling in love, kissing the divine in another, in yourself, and opening your heart. Allow yourself to be tender is the heart of vulnerability. So let's read the messages on these cards, and we'll finish with a mermaid sing guidance message. So falling in love, this card means feeling powerful feelings of attraction for another and becoming overwhelmed with feelings of tenderness, almost to the point of feeling more for the other being than for food, drink, breathing. Feeling powerfully attached to another, seeing the divine within them and experiencing the divine within yourself is extremely addictive. The beginning of a powerful relationship which truly has magic within it, and the recognition of soul within another. Yet it is also wise to know thyself well and to be able to read your own patterns. Seeking to communicate is to establish a close bond with another, feeling very akin to them, a dissolving of boundaries of self into a kind of one, a time of sweetness, insecurity, beauty, excitement, newness and uncertainty. Perhaps a time when you are almost certainly very much alive and very much at the end of ordinary life and approaching what we call insanity. The space before knowledge, where the idealization of the other is at its height. This card can also signal a desire for sex that is sacred, deeply connective, soul forging, and powerfully erotic. Lovemaking that is exquisitely spiritual and sexual. So the message of the vulnerability card. We all need and crave a sense of belonging. It is deep and primal. It is at the very core of our survival instincts. For in tribal days, if we were outcast, we were either left as food for the sharks, or we became strong and wise in our hermitage. these challenges and hero journeys within are our keys to inner strength and a sense of belonging to the all that is. And yet what makes this heroic and what makes this beautiful is that we can be deeply hurt as much by our communication with others as by our distance from them. At this time, you are being asked to open up, display your wounds after a time building trust, and share the vulnerabilities within. You are strong and you are a survivor, but you are fragile too. Deep, intimate connection can only be created by deeply understanding who we are, what we reject and dislike about ourselves, and bringing home and nurturing back to health that which we have forced away. This can require therapy, counselling, and deep vulnerability. The power of this vulnerability is that you break through into freedom, self-love, and attract others with your open heart. It may return from time to time. It is often a theme in our life. The mermaids sing. There may be no closer moment of connection, of utter merging with the divine, than the experience we have called falling in love. It is so important we do this. We allow ourselves to be overwhelmed and we surrender to bliss, but also to the possibility of pain, of betrayal, of disappointment, and of disillusionment. Therefore, we mermaids urge you to fall in love, but to allow yourself to be real, honest, vulnerable, and to move on if this love becomes painful, unfulfilling, or continually a compromise. Falling in love is a divine miracle, truly. But there are stereotypes about how it looks. Books with strange names like The Rules, and the ideal that gets attached to a person who has no idea what your hopes and dreams are. So foolish as it may make you feel, do not be cool. Be true to yourself. Fall in love with another and fall in love with your own honesty and vulnerability. That's interesting because we have the vulnerability card. Kiss the bliss, taste the nectar of love, and share the ecstasy, but also share the utter breakthrough and freedom of honesty. It may not come all at once, but little by little, let falling in love teach you the lessons. That as you recognize the divine in another, so too must they recognize the divine within you. It must be mutual, and it must be a boon, not an instrument of torture or manipulation. Bless you, beautiful people, for having this ability. Now go forth and fall in love with one another, each other, the planet, the animals, the beings, the elementals, the ocean and yourselves, and nature will then be at peace and well and blossoming once again. We all need and crave a sense of belonging. It is deep and primal. I've already read that part. It is at the very core of our survival instincts. For in tribal days, if we were outcast, we were either left as food for the sharks, or we became strong and wise in our hermitage. This is a quandary of the modern human, as far as we can see it. There is an enormous desire to avoid pain, to avoid anything that leads to emotional distress. And yet, the very thing that allows such a thing to happen is one of your greatest powers. Your vulnerability is beautiful, and we are drawn to it. And yet, so often, you feel foolish and embarrassed for feeling vulnerable, and you do your best to hide your tenderness. You feel as though you will be abused simply because you are open and willing to trust and able to love and be kind. But how attractive and appealing are those most lovely and human qualities. So don't hide yourself away. Open your heart. Show yourself who you truly are. Much love. Sweet dreams.